What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news and throwing it a bit more. Towards the end, we're going to talk about the Air Jordan 4 Bred as well as the Air Jordan 6 Black and Infrared that is releasing in 2019. But without wasting too much of your time in this intro, let's jump into the news. Today we're jumping right into Nike, and first up we have a look at the upcoming Nike Air VaporMax Plus, which is being called Grid. Now that isn't the official nickname, but if you look closely across the upper, both white and black make up for a grid pattern throughout. In addition, we have silver on the overlays, white across the midsole, Nike swoosh by the heel and liner, while a green to blue gradient runs across the VaporMax Air unit and outsole. No specific release date for this pair, but they're expected to drop sometime during January 2019. Retail price will be $190. Next up, we have a new Nike Air Monarch 4 known as Snow Day, but this pair arrives with an all-white full-grain leather upper embellished with a chrome silver swoosh and iridescent outsole. The overall effect is reminiscent of a glistening snowy day. The Sherpa collar nods to warm slippers, and the sock liner frames an imprinted swoosh on freshly fallen snow. A pop of orange on the midsole symbolize a snowman's carrot nose. Plus, a snowman figure is hidden in the embroidery details on the heel. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that was read straight from Nike's press release, but if you're interested in the shoe, they will first release on December 18th on Sneakers Japan. Following December 20th, a release will take place at Nike.com and select Nike retailers in Greater China, Europe, and Korea. During the early part of January, a launch will take place on Sneakers North America, Nike NYC, and Nike by Melrose. Currently, there isn't a set release for those three locations. Nike is getting ready to launch a new Epic React Flyknit for 2019, known as the Nike Epic React Flyknit 2. As for the first pair to showcase, they're known as Pixel, and LeBron James was wearing this pair just before the Lakers took on the Hornets. It's very similar to the previous model. It features a lower heel cage, bold Nike swoosh logo on the panels, along with a different weave pattern on the Flyknit upper. Now the Pixel theme, that comes from the shades used on the React midsole, which is pink, lime green, and blue. The release date for the Nike Epic React Flyknit 2 Pixel is January 31st. We don't have a retail price, and we don't have a look at any additional colorways, but I'm sure that we'll see some release either by that date, before it, but for sure after. We got a new Nike Air Max Deluxe starting to release. This pair is known as Celestial Teal. Now that shade of teal lands on the neoprene upper, while a darker shade of teal lands on the overlays. Then we have Anthracite, and that's placed just above the Max Air unit, as well as the liner and across the outsole. The last detail is teal once again, and that is placed within the Max Air unit. If you're interested in this pair, they are starting to release at select Nike sportswear retailers, one of them being Sneakers and Stuff. The retail price is set at $200. Now, as for a global launch, they should be available now at select retailers. I'm not sure of any offhand, but if they're not available now, probably by the end of this week, if not early next week. Paul George and Nike Basketball will once again release a collaboration with PlayStation on the Nike PG 2.5. This time around, the upper is covered in blue. This pair is dope, but I personally like the silver pair that recently released. But anyways, it features a blue mesh upper with synthetic on the overlays located on the toe and heel. Following, we have speckled detailing across the midsole and an icy translucent outsole. Now tying in the theme, we have PlayStation's 4 buttons from the controller on the forefoot strap and heel panel. Other details includes graphics on the insoles, mismatched Nike swoosh logos, and the logos on the tongue will once again light up. Sadly, we don't have a release date for this pair. What's being said is 2019, but if I had to guess, it probably will be January or February. Now, it's very possible within the few weeks left of 2018, we see a release happen. Whenever the release does take place, I'll make sure to update you guys, but the retail price will be $110. Leading up to Air Max Day 2019, Nike Sportswear is releasing a ton of colorways of the Nike Air Max 720. This is a new model from the brand, and although there will be a bunch of colors, we've only seen 2 so far that I know of. But the first one to be featured in the news videos is this neon pair, which is sure to grab some attention. I personally am a fan of the shoe. Some of the highlights on this pair is a large Air Max unit, which is the tallest ever. Nike has also stated that it features a composition of more than 75% recycled manufacturing waste. Now, as for this pair, it features a black and neon across the uppers. Then we have a bit of of crimson red, which lands on the tongue and heel. Then we have more green, just a little bit of a darker shade that's placed within the Air Max unit and across the outsole. Release information for this pair is unknown. They're said to release during spring 2019. Now, I personally believe these will release before Air Max Day 2019. It seems like Nike releases new Air Max models pretty much like a month or so before, kind of like leading up to the day. We got a release date for the Nike Air Max 97 Swarovski in metallic gold. Now, going over the shoes, as you can see, the crystals land across the entire upper, which is done in metallic gold. Now, we do have more gold that lands on the tongue as well as the laces, and then red lands on the Nike swoosh on the panel and tongue. Other details includes a white midsole and black outsole. Now, if you're a fan of this pair, the good news is a release is coming. Now, this is said to be a women's release, but I mean, nowadays it doesn't really matter. If you're a fan of them, go after them. And they're going to drop on December 26th. Retail price is $400. Now, they should be available on Nike sneakers. I don't know of any other retailers as of yet. Possibly places like Renards or even Oneness, they could have them. I'm not for sure yet. Usually they get these type of releases. But if anybody's interested in additional retailers, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to add that in to the next video, or probably, I wouldn't say next video, but maybe next week, but before December 26th, of course. Nike Basketball and LeBron James are getting ready to relaunch LeBron Watch. Now, the upcoming releases are inspired by player exclusives and celebrated Nike classics. This season's shoes reimagine the retro concept. During this announcement from Nike, they didn't showcase the shoes. Instead, they covered it up with what looks to be wrapping paper, and on the wrapping paper is the name of that model releasing. First up, the white pair. I believe that's just a placeholder. That's not actually releasing, but we also have the upcoming releases: King's Throne, Horseman, Remix, Hot Lava, Air Trainer, and Nike SB. I'm very interested to see what's releasing. I know the LeBron watch was very popular, and the first pair, which we don't know the actual model, that will release on Christmas Day, December 25th. Once LeBron James steps on the court, that shoe will then be available on the Nike Sneakers app. On to Jordan Brand, and I promise you this will be the last showcasing of the Air Jordan 6 Diffused Blue. Now, official images was posted up, so we have a better look at them. But one thing I kind of noticed, maybe it's me, maybe it's the lighting, I'm not sure. The blue on the official images looks a bit off than the others we've seen. Almost like a little bit pale. I'm not too sure about that. But this is said to be a Jimmy Butler PE. It's not really a PE, but for Jimmy Butler, part of the Air Jordan NBA pack. And the actual theme is inspired by the Timberwolves, but he's no longer with the team, so it looks like the brand is more using the Diffused Blue nickname. Now, I'm not going to go over the shoes since we already done that as far as looks go, but they're set to release December 22nd. Retail price will be $190. I like to keep my personal opinion about shoes out of the news videos, but this is going to be kind of hard. This is the Jordan Legacy 312 Flip. Now, the inspiration comes from the Air Jordan 3 Flip, which released back in 2007. Now, obviously, the nickname for the Air Jordan 3 and the Jordan Legacy 312 comes from the elephant print being plastered across the upper. Other than that, the color blocking is pretty on point from the Air Jordan 3, but still, this is a big no for me. The Air Jordan 3 Flip, I do like them, but it took time for them to grow on me. At first, I thought these looked like some sort of fakes, but after a while, they grew on me, so I do like those. But the Jordan Legacy 312, I'm not feeling them. Anyways, it doesn't matter about me. It's about you guys, and they've started to release at select retailers like Offspring. Now, a wider release is unknown, but that should take place soon. Continuing the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Air Jordan 4 in 2019, one of the upcoming drops includes the Air Jordan 4 NRG Hot Punch. Now, this is a women's release, and it features a Hot Punch black and Volt color combination. Now, it features what appears to be patent leather across the upper, all done in Hot Punch, which is basically a shade of pink. We have black speckled detailing across part of the midsole, and then the same shade lands on the tongue and heel branding. Last but not least, we have a little bit of Volt that's also speckled across the midsole and lands on the Jumpman on the outsole. Anything with the NRG tag usually means they're somewhat limited. I don't want to say very limited, but it's mainly less produced. But for this pair, the date is January 19th, and the retail price is $190. Now, this last bit of news, there will be two shoes we're going to talk about. Some of the information has already leaked, I'm going to add in a little bit of information that I know. So some of it you may have heard, some of it you haven't. Some is speculation as well. But the Air Jordan 4 Bred will release in 2019. We have yet to see images, but they are expected to be like the OG pair with the Nike Air branding on the heel. I don't think we need to go over this pair, as we all know this shoe and we don't have any actual images of the 2019 release. The official colorway is black, cement gray, summit white, and fire red, and they're set to release on May 11th, 2019. Now, since that's some time away, like always, the date could get pushed forward, pushed back. It's even possible, which I highly doubt, that the pair could be scrapped. Again, I doubt that part. Now, the resale price will be $200, which is a bit lower than your traditional $220. It looks like they're going to keep that price point from here on out. Now, as far as availability, there's no way they're going to make this a limited release. And if they do, then Jordan Brand is just done. Now, why I say that is because everybody wants this shoe. So the numbers will be very high. I'm not sure how high at this point. I'll find that out later. But that doesn't mean this pair will be easy to purchase. There's going to be many people wanting to get a pair, maybe even 2 pairs, 3. And then you have your resellers. They'll know that they'll go for a pretty nice price on the aftermarket. Next up, we're going to talk about the 2019 Air Jordan 6 Black Infrared. Now, plenty of images have leaked. We actually have detailed photos, and I'll make sure to put that in the video. From what I could see, it kind of looks like the OG release. Yes, they do have the Nike Air branding, but the holes that are on the panels, that doesn't really look like the OGs. Now, the positive on this pair is there looks to be 3M reflective, and that was a big thing on the OG release. As of now, it's looking like this will be an All-Star 2019 release. The set date is February 16th, and the retail price will be $200. Again, just like the Bred pair, there's going to be a ton of these made, but that doesn't mean you're guaranteed a pair, because again, this is a hyped up shoe. I like them both, but I kind of think the Bred Air Jordan 4 is probably a bit more hyped than this. That's just my opinion though, and what I've seen across social media accounts and what people have told me. Also, this release is a bit closer than the Bred Air Jordan 4. So the information, I would say as time goes on, especially at this point, it's pretty stable. Now, this pair doesn't look like it's being scrapped at all. It looks like it's in production already. So I'll go out and I'll look for the actual numbers to see how many pairs are going to actually release. And that recaps the news. Like always, we post it on SneakerFiles.com and then we take it to YouTube. Like always, appreciate everybody for watching. If you're hearing this now, obviously you made it to the end. And if you're new to the videos, make sure to subscribe by hitting the red button below. Now, if you've been around for a while, like always, greatly appreciate the thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.